Alright, so we're going to commentate my clear. I barely pulled this off. So I've been struggling with MoC10, or MoC12 specifically. And I did get ratio just to level 80 just in time, so he just hit level 80 at the time of the recording on Saturday. And I do have him pretty well geared up, so we're just going to lay into this as best we can. Ideally, I do want to take out the shapeshifter here first, as he generally has lower HP, and he does lower his HP when he summons the ads, so I feel like it's going to be quicker to take him out.
We've entered the storm.
Try to maximize damage here, make sure we got Bronya's buff on, going into the combo, because we're going to be going skill into ult. Pretty much at this point I'm just trying to snipe the hell out of Shapeshifter just right away. Did get kind of unlucky with the crit there, but got really lucky with the MoC effect, heavily targeting the Shapeshifter, so. A little under the weather, so my voice may be a little scratchy, so. Just one enemy left, we're just going to lay into him as hard as we can. I am going to do the Bronya ult. I want to maximize damage, see if we can clear it with this cycle. Maybe. Not going to happen this cycle, but we get pretty close.
Ready for another naughty child. You'll pay for this.
Health's looking a little rough, but we're going to go into the next phase with slightly weakened health, so this is going to be a bit risky. I'm mostly just thinking to myself, like, which one do I want to go after first? Do I want to go right into the Shapeshifter, or do I want to get Kafka out of the way? Because Kafka is the way bigger threat. Get kind of unlucky with the targeting there. Bronya does have effect res, but she's only got just over 30%, so she's not the best to resist that. But she also gets her turns really quick, so she's already gotten 2 turns out of that from basic attacking, so she should recover really quick. Oh no, I choose the healer. Okay. I just did this yesterday, and it's kind of a blur to me, just remembering. So yeah, going into the Shapeshifter.
You'll pay for this. Lend me your strength.
The thing that really sucks about getting hit with the Dominate is you don't even get the skill points for the character basic attacking, so it's really brutal how it actually cripples your team. Like the Overrage by the Deer, you still get the skill point because your character's still attacking an enemy. So it's kind of wonky that one helps and the other just completely cripples you. Getting kind of lucky on the enemy kind of just spreading their damage out, which is ideal. I just don't want to take too much damage. Get really unlucky not getting a crit there, but this sort of kind of works out. So we're going to get a bunch of stacks here on the MoC effect. Pella just brought us up to 8. We're going to get another hit into the Shapeshifter.
Just in time. Just a little something.
So I dropped the ult on Kafka. I'm basically prepping to start laying into Kafka at this point.
Ready for another? See you later.
So we're going to ratio because we're going to have ratio hit the skill on the Shapeshifter, and then that should take out the ads as well, guaranteeing his talent goes into Kafka. And we have 8 stacks, so this is Kafka. Good luck. Oh! So that setup took some thought going into it, and I was really happy with the results there because that actually gave me enough damage. At this point, I realize I have enough to get the clear with 26 cycles remaining, so a 4-cycle clear. I want as many cycles going into this next half as possible. I hate this fucking bug. Fighting him normally isn't a big deal, but fighting him in a good time frame, that's a pain in the fucking ass. I did not pull for Fu Xuan, I did not pull for Jing Liu, I don't have a good ice DPS, I do have a Herda, but I don't think Herda's actually that good for this fight. I didn't experiment with Herda too hard. My first clear with Herda was 23 cycles in total, so that was Herda in the upper 70s, but not quite 80. But yeah, I'm not too happy with that. This team comp is something I just kind of threw together to experiment because I was not having good success with some of the other setups I was running. The idea I had was I needed more dots on the ads, and I wanted to take advantage of March's freeze to give the enemy more turns to eat dots while they also don't do damage when they're frozen. So the idea was to limit the damage while also increasing my damage output, because I'm just struggling with the damage on this side. So Sampo is going to be mostly basic attacking. I may skill a couple times with him, but he's going to be mostly on basic attacks. His purpose mostly is to just have his ult ready for ads, so I can get as many dots spread out as I can. And then also just basic attacking to be a skill point generator while still applying his dot for Kafka.
Say bye to breathing.
We're just having fun.
Stand still.
And thanks to his speed being just a bit behind Kafka, it actually kind of works out because he's able to pretty much direct where her talent goes. I do have E2 Kafka. I am definitely a Kafka fan, so I rolled into her again and pulled the extra stat. I did kind of goof here. I don't have the lightning dot, so I actually wasn't able to get quite as much damage into him. So I did sort of lose a cycle. It would have been nice to save that cycle, but I end up being fine. So
More business, eh?
get as many dots as we can. He gets the ads out, so we're gonna preempt with Sampo into Kafka.
To betray my customers.
Just get the dots and get some damage in.
Good times, never last. Time to say bye.
So we need those bugs to die. We cannot deal with them very well, and we actually need the vulnerability effect if we're gonna kill this in time. Freeze stops some turns. It also allows the dots to tick. So at this point, I just want to try to build up energy and just keep the dot damage going steady at this point. So Kafka's going to be using skill pretty much all the time. Sampo's just going to be basic attacking. Sampo basic attacking for energy is very slow, which sucks. But which is why I think at some point I do eventually throw out a skill just to get some extra energy, just to make sure I had his ult.
May as well kill 'em all.
More business, eh?
Yeah, I was thinking about it there. I'm like, oh man, do I need that energy? But then I also had to consider, well, I also need to make sure people stay healthy, and this is a solo sustain with March. The freezes are delaying his turns, or the boss's turns enough that I think I can get the energy in time, and we're gonna get a freeze
Good times. Time to say bye.
off as soon as he gets his next turn, because as soon as he unfreezes and he gets a turn, yeah, we're gonna refreeze him.
Relax.
Attacks everyone, hits a shield, gets counter, loses his other turn, and gets a full cycle loss. So at this point, yeah, he's not going to get another turn before he unfreezes. We got just enough energy, so I'm just going to go ahead and keep keep Mark shielded, just keep everyone healthy. Health-wise, we're doing really damn good. This fight's usually quite punishing, but March with the freeze and from the dots killing the ads between Sampo and Kafka, we're actually doing pretty good here. Luckily we got March's ult again to keep the freeze on.
Some value, I suppose.
At this point I'm getting a little low on skill points, so I'm getting a little worried because I have been a little more aggressive with skill points than I ought to be. Now at this point I'm looking at that leftmost mob, the one that can enrage. I want to see what kind of health he has, so he ended up getting killed, so that's fine.
We're just having fun.
If the ad's cleared this quickly, I have a ton of time to just get some damage in. He's got 4 stacks of vulnerability, so we really want to take advantage of that. We only have one more cycle of this, so as soon as that 20 passes, there'll be the 19 on the board, and I have to kill before that 19.
Tough luck running into me.
So yeah, I go ahead and decide to freeze. I would just want to try to get as much hull damage, and I do realize Ruan Mei's turn will be up quick enough that should be able to reapply Kafka's dot so I don't lose any shock damage.
Good time. Time to say bye. Boom.
Ulting there may not have been the best move, but at this point he's low enough that I think it would have been wiser to save it. But I think at this point it kind of doesn't matter because he's so low on health that the dots are basically going to kill him at this point. Yeah, he's already frozen. He's going to get double turn before the end of this turn. Kafka's got one more turn. We'll go ahead and skill, and that should finish it. And the cheer I fucking gave, because I swear I tried like something like 50 to 60 different tries with several different team comps from using Don Hung on side 1, and I realized my Don Hung just was not going to cut it, so I got ratio built up for side 1, and then I had to work a team that could actually pull off side 2 in a reasonable amount of time too. And with my roster, that can be a bit difficult. Natasha is rocking 72% effect res. Ended up not needing it because I don't think they tried to dominate Natasha in that run. But that was there just in case. Like, ideally, I want them to try to dominate Natasha and take advantage of the effect res, but can't really control that. Yeah, it is a E5 Natasha. I don't have her E6 yet for the bonus damage. That's not a huge deal. Palace traces are pretty good. Her gear is super fucking jank, but basically I'm just trying to make sure she's tanky and has speed, since she's basically just playing as a defense shred pot. I did throw Topaz's light cone onto ratio just to maximize damage output. He ends up being at like 78% crit chance with nearly 200% crit damage, so really damn strong. He's basically using a lot of the same gear I would use on just any other crit DPS, because I don't really have like a full 4 set for anything. It's still like a 2-2 set that I just kind of throw around on a lot of characters. So that's what we're using there. I did switch to the light cones. I decided running Dance 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 on Ruan Mei just to see if I could get some extra turns would help push, and it looked like it paid off. So normally I run Meshing Cogs on her to guarantee the 3-turn ult, but she gets the 3-turn ult pretty often as long as she gets hit. So kinda works out to run Dance 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 instead. Sampo's E4. So I don't have the E6 Sampo yet. His stats are pretty decent, but not exactly like top tier. Kafka is E2. She does have her signature light cone. I am basically a Kafka main. So her being strong is to be expected. Running her into an off-element fight, though, is still painful just because of all the disadvantages put against you. And I think that's it. I am quite happy with clearing that. Did take the last day. A lot of that time was just spent leveling up Ratio, getting his traces and everything set up. But yeah, I'm just wanted to commentate on this, explain kind of my reasoning and thought process going into the fights and the comp. A lot of people give me crap for using Natasha, but I think she is honestly just fine. Like, I barely had to skill. I think I only used her skill once, maybe twice on her side. Otherwise, she's mostly there to build skill points and just drop the emergency heal when it's needed. So, and since I can stack effect res on her really simply, tends to work out. So, I think she's perfectly viable still. Will she stay viable? Who knows? It depends on how much crap power creep Hoyoverse wants to do. I do think MoC12 is way too fucking durable and has way too much health, so hopefully they tone that the fuck down.